Hey, it's your old pal Slim, and this is 70mm podcast for movie lovers just like you. Disclaimer at the top of the show, we're not experts, but we do love watching movies. With me each and every episode is my close friend and artist, Danny Haas.
Hello.
And our close friend and movie insider, Protolexis.
I have the storm.
Every movie that we cover is connected to a theme for that month, and this time it's Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible. We're celebrating the franchise the only way we know how, and you can use the chapters in your podcast app to skip right to our main discussion from 2018 and director Christopher McQuarrie, Mission Impossible Fallout. I actually don't have any fake news to start the episode.
Do you know how many times I've said Ralph McQuarrie as the director of
Ralph
this movie?
McQuarrie
I've said it
as Fallout, Mr. Fallout himself.
so many times.
I do have some reviews maybe to spotlight
Oh,
for Fallout. You know, our community is watching Fallout, tagging their reviews on Letterboxd 70mm pod. Let me just pull one up here. Quote, about a third of the way through, I said to myself, Henry Cavill is too hot to not be a secret bad guy. He's so hot with his little mustache. That comes from Lily.
she's not wrong.
We'll get into it.
Dialed in.
We will dial into that mustache. Next review I pulled up here. There was a watch party in our Discord community. Grugrux Dave, one step closer to the end game, but boy, this one is still just a ripping ride. Another MI watch party in the books.
Gosh.
If you have like real life friends that don't do Mission Impossible watch parties, maybe you should join our community.
They're not your friends.
First of all, they're your enemies.
They're duds.
Absolute zilches.
I wouldn't say that. That was Slim. I would not say that.
They're disavowed.
They're okay.
Disavowed friends.
Don't give up on
disavowed
your friends
friends.
if they won't watch Mission
Give
Impossible.
up
That's
on your
just me.
friends.
That's just me.
One more review just before we have to get rolling into this episode real quick. Henry Cavill has so much presence, it's incredible. The only person not sucked into the Dorkosphere. That comes from Protolexis on Letterboxd. A lot of comments on Dorkospheres.
Yeah.
Just the word dork.
Yeah.
What is a Dorkosphere?
Someone needs to get to the bottom of it.
But the big story tonight.
Please.
There's a big story. We are retiring our most popular segment in the history of this show.
Yeah.
Mount Rushmore is officially retiring next week.
Over.
We need to continue innovating. So we're cutting the cord.
Yeah.
On Mount Rushmore. So get in while the getting's good. We're retiring it because we're announcing our first ever award in the history of 70mm podcast.
Yeah.
This is the theme for next month. We wanted to come up with a sort of Hall of Fame for the greats. You know, you've heard of Oscar,
Right.
but we've honestly had enough of the Oscars.
Sick of them.
We don't pay attention to the Oscars. People get mad at us for not paying attention. So we're doing our own thing. We needed to come up with like a place where the greats could be enshrined forever with honor, essentially. We had a name that we thought of, the Hall of Goats. We thought we could get even better than the Hall of Goats. We needed something on a bigger scale, something the mainstream elites couldn't take from us. So we are retiring Mount Rushmore, but we are announcing Mount GOATMORE. Their faces etched on a new monument dedicated to the greatest of all time. It will happen with your public vote on our Patreon post. You come up with who you think is deserving to be the first entrant into Mount GOATMORE. Danny, do you have the image? Can you drop the image in
I'm
chat?
doing it right now.
Drop it.
This is our social media team dropping this in chat.
Yeah, I'm waving at
anyone. You can nominate a production designer. You can nominate a director, a gaffer, composer, whoever on this post. When this episode is live, you can go to our Patreon and drop a comment on who you think should be the first entrant into Mount Goatmore 2025. And we will decide who will be that person. Pardo, your thoughts on
Etched.
Maybe the biggest announcement in the history of the show.
Yeah, I mean, this is huge. I mean, etched into stone, that lasts forever.
Mm-hmm.
And we've all seen Mount Rushmore. How long is that's hundreds of years that's been there, right? Yeah. So that's what we're doing. This is good. This is permanent. This is for the greats, the greatest of all time, you know? Mm-hmm. And we're going to pick them. And then finally people will know.
Yeah.
People will know. I'm so excited.
The greatest of all time council will decide. If we wanted to abbreviate that, we could say GOATC.
Nope.
Who will decide on the winner of the first ever entrant of Mount
We did not agree to that one.
That was an ad lib. That was an ad lib, folks.
He's shooting from the hips.
Nobody Google. Please, God, nobody Google that.
No.
So the theme for June will be Mount Goatmore. So each week, one of us will nominate a filmmaker, director, composer, whomever, and we'll choose one of their movies. Someone we think could be deserving of be the first ever addition to the monument called Mount Goatmore. And then at the end of the month, we will decide on the first winner. That will be the last episode for that month. Danny, how do you feel about Mount Goatmore?
I'm excited. And I realized when you said the Hall of Goats, we could have called it Hall and Goats.
Hall and Goats. Wow.
They got some good music, but it's okay. I like Mount Goatmore. We're going to have a great time with this.
Yeah.
I already have mine picked.
Really? Your submission?
What?
I've already got my submission picked.
Miyazaki. Is it Miyazaki? I just
you
guessed it, folks.
You got it.
Somehow I figured it out.
Danny's pissed.
Or is it John Williams?
It's a great guess.
John Williams your submission?
It's a great guess.
Jetty Bear in chat. This is a great suggestion. James Gunn.
Who?
You could pick James Gunn.
What if
will you pick
ETA.
James Gunn, Pro? Is that your suggestion?
I'm not ready to rule him out. I'm not ready.
Yeah,
I'm not ready to make any statement at this point about who I'm picking. Okay. It's wide open field right now. I need to meditate. Are you locked?
No, I haven't. No, I've been just ironing. We've been ironing out the details for Mount Goatmore. We've been signing contracts on the design.
We've been slammed on the Mount Goatmore project.
We've been working really hard on
this. You saw those etchings on the side of that mountain.
Do we know anyone with a 3D printer? Could we, in theory, have someone 3D print a real life Mount Goatmore with the first winner?
Like the aggro crag.
Yes. Does anyone know what the aggro crag is? Anyone under 42 listening right now, do you know what an aggro crag is? All right, so that's June. That's a lot of fun. We're going to get into Fallout, bottom of the hour. There's a lot happening. Do we want to get into my London trip? Do we even have time?
Why wouldn't we want to?
Get into it.
I was in London, England.
Yeah.
This past week. Flew in. Actually, I need to sign up for TSA pre-check at this point.
Yeah.
I feel like I've been jet setting this month.
A little late for that.
The Mission Impossible Final Reckoning junket was in London, England, and I was, disclaimer, I work for Letterboxd, but I don't speak for Letterboxd in any way. These opinions are my own. So I was sent out to do the junket for Mission Impossible Final Reckoning.
Incredible.
We pitched Tom and McHugh. What if you guys did a sit-down interview for Letterboxd? What do you think about that? And they said yes. And we had the two of them for 20 minutes, which was longer than any other junket, I believe, had Tom and McHugh for.
20 minutes.
20 minutes.
Yeah.
So we had to sent the pitch over. I wrote a guide for their questions that they could ask each other. We pitched it as an interview between the two of them. Maybe you guys could chat about your journey working together, some fun anecdotes. So I sent them over some questions. They thought that was a good idea. And then, so I saw Final Reckoning, Leicester Square, London, England.
Leicester.
Amazing. I hung out with Paddington, saw the movie.
Venue? Is that venue nice?
It's the biggest IMAX theater I've ever seen.
Whoa.
Okay.
Wow.
I'm pretty sure it's the biggest I've ever been at.
Dang.
Biggest screen, maybe. I haven't measured. I haven't looked up the schematics.
Right.
Please, if there's any IMAX nerds out there, just try
email
to,
us.
Don't try to take
We
me
love
down. Don't try to take me down a peg after I just said it's the biggest one I've ever seen. So, and also the junket was like in these amazing hotels in London. Like
The
that's how
drink.
they have it set up in these hotels, and they have like, it's a professional deal. They got people with headsets
Oh
that
my
know
God.
who you
Oh my.
are and like where you need to go next for who you're interviewing. But the first to kick off the day was the Tom and McHugh thing. So like I got whisked over to this
Oh.
hotel, and my little notebook, and I'm waiting, and the Light the Fuse guys were there. They do the podcast, the now official Mission Impossible podcast.
Incredible.
So they went in before I did, and then they're like, "All right, Matt from Letterboxd, why don't you come over here? You're next. So why don't you sit here?" It's like I'm outside the principal's office. Like I can hear them all laughing on the other side of the door. I can hear like Tom laughing.
Oh my God.
So then they're finished, and then they're like, "All right, Matt, why don't you come on in?" And it's like this. The setup is like, so this is the first in-person junket that I've ever done. I've done virtual junkets. But you walk in and there's just like barely any space to move. There's like a cameraman set up. There's a light. There's a backdrop. And the light that was set up is like really low. It's like almost at chest level. And they're
What?
sitting. So I walk in and they're already sitting in, their seats. And there's a seat for me like across from them. But I'm not really in the video. So I was like, I don't need that seat. I'm not in this video.
Mm-hmm.
So I go over and I'm like, do I go over to them and introduce
Do you
myself?
bow?
Do I sit? Do I bow? Because I don't know the etiquette. Like
Right.
So
Oh,
I'm like,
man.
well, I have to, go over and introduce myself, shake their hands like a proper gentleman. So I go over and Tom stands up. Tom looks incredible.
Yeah, he does.
Tom looks better than I can remember right now. I don't know what's in the
Wow.
water in London, England.
Probably fluoride.
RFK can't take it from Leicester Square.
Yeah.
He can't do it.
No.
So I go over and I shake hands with Tom. I'm sort of pulled into the Tom gravitational pull.
Mhm.
And I have met Tom before. I did the Dead Reckoning red carpet, but that was like, a red carpet vibe. He's like walking down the line and talking to you for 2 seconds. So he's dressed in all black. He's got black slacks on.
God.
He's got like a black, collared short sleeve. He looks better than ever.
Mhm.
Just be perfectly honest. So I'm chatting with him like, hey, I'm Matt from Letterboxd. I try to like explain Letterboxd, and Tom's just like, oh yeah, I know
of course.
Letterboxd. So I like pitch them the thing again, and they kind of like they okayed it. They're like, all right, let's just get going. So I move over and I sit in the seat, and then I tell them the intro to say, and McHugh does it, and then they're just like, they jump right in. They're like talking about like, what. One of my questions is like, what clicked for you creatively? Like, why did you click at the onset and want to continue working together? So they're thinking back to like Valkyrie,
Oh my.
and they're telling anecdotes about some of the stunts that they got approval for. They're having laughs, talking about like Tom. Initially we thought this was never going to work, but then this company never worked with Tom before. Like, and so like the next day we had approval on X, Y, and Z. So he's telling all these funny stories, and he's telling stories about how like he was in awe of certain actors. Like he mentions Newman. He's like, when I was on set with Newman, it's like I'm standing across the room from HUD. He's like,
Oh,
I'm
God.
acting with Newman, but I'm not acting. I'm just like in the room, like
Oh my God.
enjoying it. And I was like thinking to myself, like, I can't believe he's telling this story. I've never heard him say this story before. This is like gold here. So it was just completely surreal. The time flew by. The PR is back there, like kind of giving me countdowns and stuff.
Mhm.
And at the onset, McHugh, like, this is just like inside baseball. At the onset, McHugh never said like, we're here with Letterboxd, which is something I wanted to have them say. So I asked McHugh to like do the outro, and he's like, and can you say like, thanks Letterboxd, and we'll see you at the movie. So he did that. So my time was up. I went over, I shook their hands again, and Tom was just, very effusive with he was grateful. Like all the stories are true. Like people tell you when you meet Tom Cruise in person, he like, it's the little things. He'll like turn his chest to you when he speaks to you to kind of like make you feel that you're the only person in his orbit, like that he cares about in that moment. And he was doing it. And he was like so thankful for us to chat with him and talk about the movie. I was wearing my Mission Impossible 1 watch that he wore in that movie. And I was like, Tom, I'm wearing the watch that you wore in Mission Impossible 1. And he was like, he was so jazzed about it. He's like, oh my God, that's so cool. McHugh, take a look at this. McHugh, he's wearing the watch from Mission Impossible 1. God. I was telling him how I love like the callbacks to the first movie because there are a lot in the Final Reckoning. He's like, oh, that was all McHugh. That was all McHugh.
Yeah,
like
he knew.
Even in the conversation, he's kind of, and if we listen to the commentaries, he's like giving praise elsewhere. He like never wants it. So I did ask for a photo because I wanted a photo of them that we could like tease on Letterboxd Social, but they interpreted it as like me getting a photo with them. And I was like, well, all right, I'll take a photo with you guys. And the guy who took the photo, Tom, he was even praising him. He's like, oh, this is so-and-so. He's a great cinematographer. He's got a great eye for photography. You're going to hear from this guy in a few years. Like, this is so-and-so. I was like, all right, thanks, Tom. This is pretty cool. And with that, you know, I scurried out of the room and that was that.
Threw up in the first trash can you found.
My God.
And
the first bin.
From there, I had to go right to the hotel and do the junket interviews with Haley and Simon and Palm and Tarzan and everyone. So I was like, didn't even really have time to digest, but yeah, amazing,
That's
bucket
incredible.
list interview. It was incredible.
Freaking did it.
We're proud of you.
I freaking did
We're
it.
proud of you.
Thank you very much.
And we love Letterboxd.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So I think the interview, by the time this episode's out officially on Monday, I think the video will probably be up in some way, shape, or form. But stay tuned to Letterboxd. It's always funny too, but like the prep for those things, like you could prep, and I did for many hours. You use maybe 1% of the prep that you did in those situations. Probably. Like just about everything I prepped for did not come into play, and it's like always the case with those things. It just cracks me up. Boy, what's our time check here?
Time check.
20 minutes. Okay.
I mean, I just arrived from a screening of The Phoenician Scheme.
You're a big shot.
Okay.
Wes Anderson's new joint. If I can be frank,
Please.
I think I said my last Wes Anderson review that my favorite Wes Anderson is the one I'm currently watching, and this one was could be my favorite Wes Anderson of all time.
Wow.
I had an absolute blast watching this film. Not to spoil too much of it, but honestly felt like Wes found another gear with this movie. There's some stuff he's doing. I'm like, oh, okay, Wes. We've entered a new era of Wes Anderson. Benicio is so good. He's so funny, but I think Michael Cera kind of steals the show.
My king.
He's pretty great at this. I mean, the movie is like simple, the story's simple, the comedy is just enough. It's on point, and I had a blast watching this film.
Damn.
I mean, every set piece is just delicious. Just having a great time. I mean, I was impressed with this one. I just had so much fun. And it was fun to be in a theater too with a bunch of other press, but everyone is cackling. Like everyone was in on it too. Like they liked it as well. So it was just fun to sit in that room and be a part of it. It was great.
What's the Florida press scene like in these theaters?
You know, it's weird. It's the same people every time when I go. So there's never, I think you guys have said you have like a general audience sometimes and it's like a press section. But for me, it's only the same people every time that I see there. And they all kind of know each other. And I have no desire to talk to any of them. And I feel bad, like, because I'm usually like pretty extroverted and want to meet new people and talk, but I just don't. I don't know what they do. I don't know who they write for, if they have podcasts. I don't know if there's a blog, a Tumblr that they do, Blogspot. I don't know.
Blogspot. My God, that's a blast from the past.
So but it's a fun scene. They seem normal film bros.
Well, Proto and I get invites to Like there's a press screening that usually happens in Center City, Philadelphia, but then photos or like screenings that take place in King of Prussia where it's like general audience and press also gets invited.
Yeah, I think maybe mine will be like that for Dead Reckoning next week. I think there might be a lot of people at that one.
God bless. There's one other note about the Tom interview. I just dropped a photo. Nobody share that photo, please. But I was sitting in a chair opposite them, and they're like the opposite camera was on me being recorded, but I'm not in the interview. And when Tom was like telling the story, he was looking at me.
My God.
In like when he's telling these anecdotes, and I'm like, Tom, look at the camera. I'm not in this interview. That was in my head. I was like, this is an amazing moment. However, Tom, can you look at the camera?
So when we watch this and we see Tom talking to someone off screen, we know it's you.
Yeah, it's me. It's me. The only I might be included because there's one part where I asked them at the end. I had a little bit more time, and I was curious from their point of view, like, is there anything you want the audience or hope the audience feels at the end of this journey? Like if this is Ethan's, last ride, and they don't want anyone to feel a certain way. They're open to it, but then like. I told them at the end, I was like, well, Tom, I was sweating when you're on that biplane. I'll say that much. That's how I was feeling. And then he was like, oh, you were sweating. I was on the plane, and he starts like cracking up. So that might make it into the video.
That's amazing.
Fantastic.
Pro, when are you going to see the Phoenician scheme?
I was thinking, I actually think I might have had a screener for tonight or last night, but of new movies that come out, Wes Anderson is like one of the few that I have to reserve for Jenna. So, I'm hoping to see it in the theater when it drops, because that's always like, I can always count on Jenna to go see Wes Anderson with me.
Wow.
So that's the dream. Maybe dinner and a movie.
Oh,
is this for real?
Golly,
if I can pull this off. But yeah, I'm excited. I mean, it sounds like Danny's getting his chisel out. Like he's ready. It's like Wes. Is this our first goat?
I could easily chisel Wes on the GOATMORE.
Wow.
Oh my God.
Easily. That's a simple.
Will Wes be the first ever edition etched in stone in Mount GOATMORE?
Has Wes ever missed? That's the real question.
We don't have time to answer that question.
Not
we
tonight.
honestly do not have time to answer that question. Pro, anything you watch that you want to get into?
What did I watch? Oh, I finished. I haven't logged it yet, but I did finish Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone.
Okay.
What?
All right. First viewing.
We're going back. Family's going back. My daughter's like reading the books now.
Wow.
So we're back in the Harry Potter train. We'll see where this goes.
Okay.
We might build another Harry Potter run. Choo choo. Buckle up. Whatever you're doing, train.
30-year anniversary of that movie.
I mean, it helps that every book gets longer and longer, so it might take her longer to finish them.
Yeah, true.
Actually, jokingly said that the movies are almost 30 years old, but when did the first book come out? How many years?
98?
Oh, God.
That's
40
I'm
years.
I'm guessing 98.
That's 40 years ago.
I'm not doing that math. Someone else can write in. Someone comment on our Spotify, because apparently we get those.
Our Spotify comments are popping
I know.
off.
What is that? I keep getting the notifications for it.
Yeah, we get a lot of comments. I mean, most of them are positive. Full disclaimer, we're still in a holy war with Spotify.
Yeah.
Make no mistake.
Yeah.
We're not taking this as a positive engagement with Spotify.
Yeah.
There will be no truce.
They're planted comments.
There's been no truce signed. No ceasefire agreed upon. Let's see. Should we get into it? I think we should get into the main course. Episode 264.
Hello.
Mission Impossible Fallout 2018. When everything changed. Literally everything changed with this movie. Okay. Next week we're doing Final Reckoning, folks. We're skipping over Dead Reckoning.
This was the big bang of the Dorkiverse. When this movie
it's like
dropped.
you're looking at Proto's notes. It's like you just spoiled part of his.
Sorry, that was note number one. I apologize.
Come on. Proto.
I'm gonna hurt her.
Philip Seymour Hoffman back on the show. Hold tight.
He's back.
Proto, what's the synopsis for Fallout?
Ethan Hunt and his team of Disavowed are on the hunt for plutonium cores that world terrorist John Lark wants so he can destabilize the world order. When Hunt fails to capture the cores, he must pose as John Lark so that he can buy them from the arms dealer, the White Widow. Hunt is babysat by CIA agent Walker, while Hunt impersonates Lark, who then must retrieve the cores by rescuing the man he locked up last time, Solomon Lane. What Ethan Hunt doesn't know is that the man he is impersonating is with him and in cahoots with Lane. Alec Baldwin dies. Lane and Lark get away again with the plutonium and plan to pollute 1/3 of the world's water supply. Can Ethan Hunt master helicopter flying in 10 seconds and save the world? Mission Impossible Fallout.
I just want to point out that I'm mad at myself because I had this music queued up when talking about Mount Goatmore and I didn't never hit play.
Do it now.
I'm going to add this in.
We're in
maybe
so
in-
much
in
trouble for
post.
this.
All right,
Spotify's
cut it.
back.
Cut it. I read, I don't know if this anecdote is true, but I think Tom learned how to fly a helicopter. Was it for this movie or a previous one? I don't think he flew a helicopter in the other ones.
Mm-mm.
But he asked, like, how long will it take me to become essentially like a professional helicopter pilot? And one guy was like, 8 hours a day for 3 months. And then I think Tom was like, I have 1 month. So
Oh my
let's
God.
use those other hours in the day to get this done. Something like that. Who knows if it's true? Mount Rushmore being retired in 2 weeks. Do we want to do a Mount Rushmore?
Of who this time? Of what?
We haven't done a Mount Rushmore of Macquarie.
Oh, that's not big for
Christopher Macquarie
Wow.
directed films.
Okay.
Do we have a Mount Rushmore?
me. Have I seen anything
I know
besides
Proto is.
Mission
I know both of you are
Impossibles?
pulling up the letterboxd for the Christopher Macquarie.
I mean, easy. I can just say it. I'll just say it out loud. Jack Reacher. Hello.
My God.
Hello.
Yeah.
You want to talk about action? I haven't seen that probably since it came out, but I remember having a grand old time with Jack Reacher.
Fantastic film.
I mean, Dead Reckoning. Hello. Put that
I don't
on
trust
there.
that. I don't trust that at
Put
all.
that on there. And I mean, I'm in a little bit of a pickle here. It's like he has Final Reckoning, he has Fallout, but we don't want to, I don't want to comment on next week's episode. I don't want to comment on tonight's
Right,
episode. So I
right.
think I'm just going to give you 2,
Yeah.
and that'll be
I
it.
feel like this is 4 weeks in a row where Proto has only given us 2 of Mount Rushmore.
I'm doing the best I can. I'm working with what I got.
We can't say Final and we can't say Fallout. So I will say also Jack Reacher. Jack Reacher is an absolute 5-star banger.
Really?
Absolute bang. Wait, Danny, have you seen it?
I haven't seen it. No.
Oh,
Oh, you're in for a treat. tomorrow morning.
absolute banger.
Really?
You need to please make plans
You're in it for a
tonight,
treat.
tomorrow morning. I don't know what you need to do. So Jack
It's got an
Reacher,
insane cast.
I'm gonna put in Rogue Nation.
Okay.
And I mean, I'm running out of options if we can't do 2 of the movies
I know.
that he did for Mission Impossible. So, I mean, I might also stay with 2. Has it ever been done? I don't know.
I feel like I can only say one. I can't say any actually, because I don't think I would put Rogue Nation
Nation?
on my Mount
What
Rushmore.
about DR, Dead Reckoning for real fans?
I mean, Reckoning for sure. That's it.
Okay.
And we can't put Fallout because that's the rules.
Right.
I actually think Rogue Nation's my least favorite of the series.
What?
Yeah.
Isn't that the
see
one
that.
where Rebecca first appears?
She's the only one that
Ferg?
keeps that one alive.
Jeremy Renner. It's on point in that movie.
Exactly.
Oh, wow.
Exactly.
German runner. I'm gonna hurt her.
Oh, God. Philip is always with us. Kev is always with us. Danny, what's your memory of Fallout? Do you have a memory seeing it in theaters, your first
Yeah.
experience with Fallout?
I mean, I definitely saw it in opening night for Fallout. I don't remember I remember just absolutely being electric afterwards, but that's kind of it.
Sorry.
Hello. Coming in hot.
But it feels so long ago at this point for Fallout. What was the year? 2018. I guess it doesn't. not that
Pre-COVID.
long.
That could be 20 years ago. It could be 10 years ago. Who knows?
But yeah, I mean, this was wasn't the big talk of the town was his Helios jump or whatever that jump he did.
Yeah. That was big.
That was like coming into it. We were like, we got to see this scene.
Yeah.
But yeah, this was. I feel like this. I don't remember how I felt in the moment for like Ghost Protocol and Rogue Nation, but Fallout felt like a turn, like a big pivot for this series.
Oh yeah, big time. Fallout. I mean, I remember sitting in my car writing my letterbox review for Fallout after I saw it,
weeping.
But I might have been weeping. I was definitely weeping when in theaters.
Yeah,
make no mistake. Yeah, I had a religious experience. I couldn't believe what I was witnessing. I mean, for Tom Cruise fans at the time, like you're eating when this is happening. You're in like a renaissance that you thought would never happen. I mean, because they worked together on Edge of Tomorrow, and that's when he like got McHugh the gig. And then after that, like Rogue Nation, Jack Reacher 2, The Mummy. We don't need to spend too much time discussing that, but once Fallout happened, it was like we are back. And then Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, Maverick.
And it's like, crazy times. Proto, what about you?
Yeah, I don't really remember much other than what Danny was saying about the Halo jump, I guess, the news of that, how hot that was at the time. That's all I really remember. Of course, saw this in the theater. I don't know who I saw it with, but I mean, Tom Cruise, Mission Impossible. Yeah, I mean, and Henry Cavill.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get into it.
I feel like this may have been the first time. Was he in the Superman stuff by then?
Yeah, remember the whole reason why the Justice League movie had come out around then, and he couldn't shave his mustache for like the reshoots, and my God, what a friggin' mess that turned out to be.
He could have saved the world with that mustache, and they took it away from him for Superman.
True, yeah.
It's some of the worst CGI.
It's like they gave him an extra lip.
It's like that gif of like the lips that are put on like a lemon, and it's like kind of moving around a little bit as they're talking.
It's so bonkers how bad it looked, and it's in the actual movie.
Yeah,
it's Bush League. It's absolute Bush League.
Oh.
Let's see. I'll lead things off.
Thank you.
This is the best looking Mission Impossible movie by far, in my opinion.
Okay.
I feel like the movies look good. 4 and 5 look pretty good. But then there's just something happens with Rob Hardy as the cinematographer at the onset. And I know Pro did his voice, his fake voice, Tom voice, when Tom opens the door and he does the, I am the storm. Like there's just like the lighting, the flaring. People take a hot dump on J.J. Abrams' flare. No one's taking a hot dump on Rob Hardy's flares in this movie. They don't dare drop trow and open their cheeks on this. I dare them to. But this movie is incredible. Like there's so many moments that are just like jaw dropping. When Tom meets Rebecca in the fields, the motorcycle stunt chase, everything just looks absolutely dynamite. Dynamite. Danny, what did you think?
I think one of the scenes that I think about when you talk about looking dynamite, and it's like it's not even like an action sequence. It's that when he's first meeting Vanessa Kirby's character, Max's daughter.
In the club?
That the shots of that club like are electric. Whatever mirror prism thing they're walking through, it's incredible. Like it, and the way they walk out of it, like kiss me on the lips. It's incredible. But even when they get to that, even the shot when they get to that like jazz lounge that she's in, like the set in that as well is incredible. It's incredible. It's no joke.
It's porno. It's porno for your eyes.
Yeah, right. They're banning this film from Florida as we speak.
Utah can't even watch Fallout.
No,
it's not allowed.
Not in Utah. Not in Utah.
Porn. Yeah, I mean it looks fantastic. I mean the Halo jump is amazing. Like the way that's like shot at like I guess it's like dusk it's supposed to be. It just looks so cool. But yeah, I mean the movie it looks amazing. The color, there's something about like how just like what Danny, you were mentioning, like that club scene.
Mm-hmm.
There's just, I mean, there's so many scenes like that where it looks fantastic.
Yeah, remember when they go to the plane and you're introduced to Henry Cavill's character? Like they're ready to take off. I think that's like dusk, right? And it just looks so cool. I mean, I guess,
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
man, how many movies shoot scenes around that time of the day, I guess? Maybe not often. But I mean, visually, that scene is awesome too, because like Tom is in the background of Alec Baldwin's character with Angela Bassett. And it just like the interplay between the characters visually is so fun because Tom's, in the background. He's not like in this conversation, but he's there. And both of them are. And I thought that was pretty cool.
Mm.
Danny, what's the top of your list?
You mentioned for a second, but the Paris chase scene, the motorcycle scene, when they switch cars to that little BMW, that whole like middle segment of getting away but stealing lane is like a masterpiece in action sequencing. Like the choreography on like that's the shot where the BMW does like the spin off the steps and changes directions. The camera angle on that is like, oh my God, you talk about porno. I mean, that's an incredible shot. But that whole sequence, it just kind of blows my mind. And I feel like I stop breathing when I'm watching it. When he drives the opposite direction of that roundabout around the big monument there in Paris, it's just dynamite and it feels dangerous. Like if you do have these scenes where like it doesn't feel like the stakes are that high, but like that shot where he's driving in the opposite direction on that roundabout makes me like want to hurl. It stresses me out. The shot of Lane in, I think it's Lane, if I'm saying that wrong, the bad guy where he's chained and the roll of the thing underwater and the wave kind of comes up. Like shot, that should have won the Oscar, like just for that shot alone. Yeah. Like it's just smart and simple and it's so stressful and it looks incredible and you can just feel it. You can almost feel that scene. Like you can feel what it feels like to sit in that scene. But and I mean, just that whole Paris segment is really what I'm just want to talk about because I just love it. And I think Tom and Henry are fantastic in it as well. When you finally realize that he's, not going to kill any police officers and he switched the whole scene around and rams the car off. And it's what you want from a Mission Impossible movie. Like this is like grade A, what you want.
Yeah.
Pure grade A, yeah.
Yeah. This is pure cocaine. This is the good stuff.
Pure uncut porno.
Yeah.
Grade A.
Right.
Yeah, it's bonkers. Like I think Danny and I both logged the movie 5 stars ahead of this recording.
It doesn't matter.
Stay tuned for Proto's thoughts. But like it's the culmination of the franchise to this point. Like they have nailed everything, the heist aspect, the like plots where you're told that Henry, early on is like the bad guy or one of them, but you don't know that Tom and friends know that by this point too. Like they hatch a plan to trick him and get the details. Like they're ahead of you. And I love that aspect of it. Like those fun switcheroos, which start at the front of the series. But not only that, but they loop in, the Julia storyline.
Oh my gosh.
Like they put the wrap up on that, which we'll talk more about. But like the Paris stuff is nuts. I listened to the commentary and they had said that the original motorcycle filming was, a camera was going to be attached to the motorcycle or the motorcycle was going to be attached to a rig. And they were just going to like film Tom that way. Like, so he wasn't really going to have to do the stunts too hardcore. But then something wasn't working and they had to just like do it on the fly. And Tom's like, let me just do the motorcycle stunt. Like,
I'll
ride
do
the
it.
motorcycle. I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, what? Because that stunt looks insane. Like, it makes me think that they filmed that for 20 months just to get it right. And it looks awesome. And a lot of like my thoughts on the Macquarie era, they talk so much about like, they film, the way they make these movies, like they apparently like film the stunt pieces and then they'll just like figure out the actual story like later on. Like let's just shoot the jump, let's shoot the motorcycle scene, and then we'll sprinkle in the actual story like once we figure it out. And they didn't like, depending on how much you love these movies, but like somehow they just did bangers for the last like a couple of these, and then it just culminated in like it worked. Somehow they got lucky and everything worked with this. Like they often talk about like, remember we filmed this scene and we didn't even know what the MacGuffin was going to be. Like we didn't even know what they were after. Like we added the shot of that plutonium in 2 months before the movie came out. And it's like you're listening to them talking about like, how is this working?
Wow,
this sounds like the most stressful, chaotic way to make a movie. And like, we're not doing a Dead Reckoning episode, but like some of my thoughts on Dead Reckoning was like, maybe this is the first time that they like did that and it's just like didn't work out as well.
Oh,
like
spoilers.
They thought that like they would just figure this all out and be bangers, but like maybe some of it didn't work out. But for whatever reason, this movie was like a miracle that way. And it just all worked out. The storyline worked. All the ideas they had. Like when Tom broke his foot, they were able to film for like 2 months and redo things that they didn't realize wasn't working. Like with Henry, they filmed a lot more stuff with Henry.
Which moment did he break his foot?
The one where he jumps over the ledge and like climbs and hits the building. Remember when Benji is yelling at him to like jump? It's in the movie. That's the scene where he broke his foot. And when he like climbs up and he's limping, that's the actual shot of him limping with a broken foot off of that shot. And he like turned to Macquarie. He's like, Macquarie, I hope you got that one because I just broke my foot. So a lot of the scenes underground, you know, when they try to trick Henry, he's in a cast. He's wearing like a foot cast. Like when they filmed all those scenes.
That's crazy.
Yeah. Pro, what's on the top of your list?
Top of my list is Henry Cavill. I just love him
really
so much. Yeah. I think he's so good in this. I'm always like struck by his voice because I know he's a Brit, right? But he like in this, like the way his like American accent, the way he talks, his just voice, and then like, you know, his transformation into a villain is so good. I look at him, I'm like, why is he not the next Indiana Jones?
Excuse me.
Something like that. I don't know. Like I would love him to be like a massive superstar. I just really taken by him.
You don't think he's a massive superstar?
I mean, what have you done lately, Henry? I mean, I've seen him.
He's not doing Witcher. I don't know if Witcher was a massive hit. I have no idea. But he's not Superman anymore.
He has Argyle. Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at this. I haven't seen one of his movies since Justice League. But he has some movies. But yeah, none of them that I've watched.
He's also supposed to be doing like a Warhammer 50,000 movie. He's like executive producing that. I guess he's a big gamer.
He's a big Warhammer guy.
Oh, that's the thing. I think the last thing I saw from him is he's had a video of him making like a PC during COVID. That was the last content I saw from Henry.
Master Race.
So, Henry, come home, come back. Or maybe I should just watch his movies. Am I watching Argyle? Am I watching Black Adam?
No.
Am I watching
Pump the brakes.
Deadpool, Wolverine?
You don't want to ruin this for yourself.
Nightmare fuel. Proto doing those movies back to back.
We may lose Proto.
Yeah, he's really good in this. This was great casting. He's so fun, and you know, I love how he thinks he's like so ahead of everyone. Remember, he like tries to tell Angela Bassett that it's like Ethan Hunt who's actually John Lark, like this whole time. And even she's like, you're an idiot. What are you talking about? Like, this doesn't make any sense. But then I was thinking the same thing. And then his like reasoning, he's like, well, that's the same reason that Solomon Lane turned. Remember, he was an MI agent or whatever. And I was like, oh, okay, that's a pretty good response to that.
There is a moment where I get frustrated at the choices they made for him when he wears that trench coat. It's like he's like 5 toddlers making up one person. Like it's like they're trying to sneak someone into a club. It looks so ridiculous on him. He's already built like a refrigerator, and they throw like a king size sheet trench coat on him, and it's like so boxy. Like, just can we put less clothes on this man, please? What are we doing? Like, we need to see the shirt ripping off. Like, we need Indiana Jones Temple of Doom shirtless moment with Henry.
Put him in a torn wool sweater.
Right.
You know, his chest hair popping out there.
My God.
The helicopter.
Hello.
Yeah.
Hello. Next on my list, let's see. I mean, the Julia storyline, this was like earth shattering to me. Like, I don't remember anything in the trailers leading up to this. So to have like the storyline of his former wife that he had to, abandon, that you saw a little bit, I think it was Rogue Nation or Ghost Protocol, where you see her at the end of the movie, that she's like living a secret life. She's off, so that no one can find her. They're not together anymore. But then like his reaction to seeing her in that scene, where was Oscar for Tom for Mission Impossible Fallout? Like he stuttered. He like.
This is why we started Mount Goatmore.
Oh my God! What if? Oh my God, Tom! Do I submit Tom for Mount Goatmore? When she says his name and he turns around, he's like, Julia?
Ethan?
Julia?
Is that
Like his reaction to that is maybe the best acting from Tom in history. I mean, also like when he's on the bed, it's in the hospital at the end is amazing too.
His reaction is our reaction, and that's what's perfect about it.
Oh,
the shockingness of her being there.
Yeah.
And then all of the pieces just start falling into place of Lane's plan.
yeah. I mean, how amazing is that too, that they had this planned like the whole time. The whole time they set up this entire encampment for her to be there.
Right. Inoculating all these people.
Yeah.
For the stuff that they committed.
And I love like, Ethan's reaction to seeing, his wife remarried. Like all of that is happening in that moment.
And
while
Rebecca's watching him react to it too. Oh, Rebecca.
And then, she's like, oh, well, no, he's here on vacation. And he's like, no, I'm here for work. And then like she knows immediately what that means. Both of them do. Like I love that little like sleight of hand conversation that they had. Tom saying that like, her husband, he responds to her husband, like, oh, you're so kind. It's just like all the emotions going through Ethan Hunt at that moment is just bonkers. I'm waiting for Proto to take a dump on this.
I was going to say, what I love about that scene is I love to imagine that like when Ethan is talking to Julia, Solomon Lane is like over in the building and he has like binoculars on and he's watching. He's like, suck it, Ethan.
Yeah, we need the like sickos meme. Like Solomon Lane watching the two of them. But also like in terms of, I guess my point is Ethan's love life storyline. His reactions with Rebecca when Rebecca first appears, he was shocked to see her. And then they have that conversation, in the courtyard or before the courtyard. He's like, you should have stayed out. You should have stayed out of the game. And then she's like, no, you should have come with me.
Oh my God.
And it's just like, could Ethan have ever gotten out of the game? Could he possibly get out of the game?
The world needs him.
The world needs him. The world needs him.
I love that line. I wrote that down. Oh, who's watching the world when Ethan is watching me? Yeah, I think she's...
What a line. That's right. They're cuddling at night, but at what cost?
Yeah.
I mean, how many children are dying because she's Big Spoon to Ethan Hunt,
He's definitely...
Yeah. He's literally like the Superman of this world.
Yeah.
There's no one who can do what he does.
Right.
Mm-hmm. Danny, your thoughts on Ethan Hunt's love life?
It's complicated, honestly. Real complicated. I wondered how... do they film... This is me trying to be a meme. Do they film Ethan standing next to Henry like they film Gandalf standing next to Frodo? Do they have like
probably had lifts
the forced perspective?
Well, how tall is Henry Cavill? I don't know what the height.
Henry's got to be tall.
Maybe.
Oh yeah.
Can anyone confirm heights? Heights?
He's got
heights or heights.
He's got to be.
I feel like Henry's short.
You think Henry's short?
I think he's
6'1". Internet saying
is that short?
Wow. Is that Google or is that Google AI?
Is that average? Is that
Google AI saying 6'1"?
I don't know anymore. I can't. How do you tell?
You can't even use Google anymore. You can't do it.
I need a new internet. You need to start over.
Just start it over.
Is it Danny's turn, I think?
I would love to continue the love train talking about Rebecca.
Mm-hmm.
I looked back at one of my older reviews and I said, all I could think about is I wish she played Black Widow in the Marvel universe, because I think she's not only like stunning, she's also an amazing actor.
Mm-hmm.
I can't get like, all of her scenes are incredible. I mean, I don't know if she does her own stunts, but she does a great job at everything she does. I love her on the motorcycles. I love her interactions with Tom. I love her whole performance in this. I think I don't remember much after this, but she's like one of my favorite ever.
Yeah.
And she's just dynamite in this.
She's also a fox.
Yeah.
I'll be the first to say it. I'll just say it out loud right now.
Pump the brakes a little bit.
Absolute fox. I mean, visually, every time she's on screen, it's just it's
biting my bottom lip
magnetism.
off.
It's magnetism.
She does this move on Solomon Lane at the end where she has his head like in a vice grip around her one leg. Like his head is like shoved up into her crotch, and then her thigh is wrapped around the back of his head, around his neck, and then her leg comes up and just squeezes. And like, you just think of like being in that position, Rebecca Ferguson choking you out with her one leg. It's crazy.
I'd let her snap my neck.
You know, it's
Was
crazy.
that the review that you had written that someone posted a
I don't know
screenshot
what
of
review
in
that was.
Discord
I
of
don't
like
know.
you referring
I
to
don't know
Rebecca
where that
Ferguson
came
as like
from.
mother?
No, I'll tell you.
That was Greatest Showman.
I'm launching an investigation where these
Can
words came
someone
from.
paste the screenshot in chat so I can read it out loud during this segment? And then it was something else. I mean, the scene where Rebecca shows up in that bathroom when they're fighting allegedly John Lark, and
that scene.
after that, he's talking about like, what are you doing? Like, why are you doing this? She's like, this is how I prove my loyalty to get out. And Tom's like, but you were out. You were free. Yeah, it was. I mean, every one of their interactions is just next level, and it's tough too. Like, the Mission Impossible fan base at large really dislikes what happened in Dead Reckoning with Rebecca Ferguson's character.
Spoilers.
But I wonder like what the end game would be for like their characters together, because Tom is not going to like retire, and whisked away. But then like, will she stay in the movies and just always be kind of like a helper / lover? Like, I don't know. I don't know what the long-term play would be for these two.
When did they make love? Did I miss this?
It's inferred / implied. I've been sent the review in question. Quote, the best part of the movie. This is allegedly proto-writing. I'm not sure if we can confirm. The best part of the movie. I plead the Rebecca Ferguson. I would like Rebecca to be my mom. She can hold me close to her bosom, and I will suck my thumb as I look as her lips move, but I don't hear anything because I love my mom. She is my world. All senses fade as I watched her lips dance exquisite.
It sounds a lot worse hearing it out loud.
Holy Lord. Oh.
Cut it. Proto, next on your list.
Let's see. Well, we mentioned Solomon Lane, who I like to refer to as Evil Simon Pegg. I love that scene at the end where him and Sean Harris, Simon Pegg going at it, because it's like they're like twins to me. I know they're not. I mean, just because
they're wearing the same
British,
clothes in that scene.
They're wearing the same clothes. I mean, he wore his face too.
Right,
there's so many parallels with these two. But it just like cracks me up, that scene at the end where it just looks to me like evil Simon Pegg is choking out normal Simon Pegg. In that moment. I just remember like that character Solomon Lane drive me crazy in the previous movie. So you get a lot less of him here, but I just find that so funny whenever I see them on the screen. But I kind of love that too about this, is that there's like two villains. There's Henry Cavill's character and this guy. It's kind of cool.
Batman Returns homage.
Right? Yeah. So it's kind of cool when you have more than one villain.
Yeah. You were watching the previous ones, right? Did you blow through the other ones? I remember a review where like you made a Simon Pegg. No, you posted a photo in Discord of like when Simon Pegg appears on screen, and you posted the photo. Someone in a bathroom stall with their like pants around their ankle.
Throw it up. Lord have mercy.
I don't even know where you found that image or like what scenario this image appears to you, and you
They come to me. They find
it's
me.
an insane image. It's insane.
He Googled Simon Pegging.
Can someone drop that bathroom stall image in chat so we can see it again, please? Or maybe Proto can drop it.
Oh, I got that saved. You know I do.
Yeah, I'm sure that's on a clipboard somewhere.
Yeah, that's
Favorite it.
Oh my God. Yeah.
It's just to set the stage. It's someone looking at a bathroom stall. And the person
Stupid.
I can't. I cannot. I can't. We gotta move on.
We have to move on.
We gotta move on. Oh my God. Okay. Whose turn is it?
Get it together, Slim.
Fudge. Let's see. Those were my main. Let's see. What else should I talk about here? I'm going through my list. What'd you think about Max's daughter,
Vanessa Kirby.
Vanessa Queen?
She could snap
Kirby?
my neck too.
She looked
Christ
like
alive.
she probably would be into the neck snapping. I mean, her and her mother were on the edge. You know, they're playing on the edge. They're playing with fire.
Yeah.
And then when
They
Tom was
really
saying
are.
how like they had a past, like him and Rebecca Ferguson, she was even more turned on, and she went in for the kiss.
Oh yeah. She went in hard.
She went
locked,
for it.
locked in.
Yeah, she was very good in this movie. That scene where they first go to the club, they had filmed a whole long thing where she's singing in that club, in that jazz club.
Really?
Oh.
So when Tom first walks in, and you can
Did she break her
see-
foot too?
you see like the side profile of her, she's singing in that shot, but they just
Dang.
like cut out the singing. Pretty wild.
Okay.
She was great.
You know, I didn't know until we did the first Mission Impossible that she's supposed to be Max's daughter.
Yeah.
Somehow that had completely went over my head. Did they say that in this movie?
It went
Yeah,
over
she
my head
says
when I
Mac.
first saw the movie,
Okay.
but she talked about like her mother, Max, and then she says the paradox line. Remember,
Mhm.
like my mother was very into paradoxes.
Oh, right. Yeah.
And then Tom, I think, sees that moment. Proto, next on your list.
I might just do some honorable mentions. Let's just
Please.
see. What else do I have? Oh, Danny, when you're talking about the Paris scene, there's the one scene. Well, I mean, there's so many scenes where they're driving through the city, but there was one shot that stayed with me where they go around like this hairpin turn, and there's like a building with like those stone steps in front of it. And it's like one continuous shot of the car going around, because then there's like 4 people on the stairs, and there's this one woman in like this yellow shirt, and she's like walking down the stairs. But then the scene is captured from like 3 different angles, and it like perfectly as it transitions, like all the people are moving, and it just like looks so fluid and perfect, even though it changes from different perspectives.
Oh.
There was just like something really, really amazing about that shot to me, like of how they even set that up, like the multiple cameras, and just have it like so perfect. It's pretty wild.
Yeah, these stunts are top notch, really good. Like the commentary. Tom was like in love with that BMW that he used.
That
Oh.
3 Series?
Yeah.
That old. Oh my god.
Oh,
It's
McHugh,
absolute
I
dream
love
car.
this BMW. I love that you chose this BMW, McHugh. Oh,
It's a perfect
fantastic.
car.
Yeah, it's such a good fit. I mean, the idea that he has to like break out Solomon Lane, and like remember when he pulls off his mask after Rebecca was like shooting at him, and Solomon Lane's like, "That was Ilsa." Very interesting.
Oh, yes. Or had like that scene's so funny because like she's chasing them throughout the city to kill this guy, and then he stops right in front of her, and she doesn't shoot.
Yeah. And then he like remember I think they meet in the courtyard after that, and he like apologizes. Oh man, that's a perfect scene.
You love that scene.
The idea that like that courtyard scene is in what was Mission Impossible 6. You know, there's just like no reason for that kind of style and finish to be in this number of a franchise. I think that's also like what's bonkers about this franchise, that like it's the 6th movie and this is like the best one.
Right.
Danny?
I'll run through it real quick. When Cavill gets the hook line in the face on the side of the mountain.
Oh,
holy Lord. I as many times as I've seen this, I still kind of like get emotional and the chills with the entire finale of this film. Mm-hmm. I don't know why it still affects me, probably because it's amazing cinema from top to bottom, but I know it's coming. I know she's going to see him. Julie's going to see him. Tom's going to react. The team's going to watch them reconnect after years. And it still like emotionally gets me. It's still so well performed and well written and well shot. And it's just, it's fantastic. The helicopter scene is dope. The Helios jump or the Helio jump, whatever we're going to call it, that skydive is amazing. I love the little HUD on the lens, the whatever you want to call it, the visor. Yeah. This is easy 5 stars. This is
easy 5.
Like it doesn't get much easier than this. Tom's electric. And Tom looks amazing in this, by the way.
Yeah.
I remember thinking when I watched what was right before this, Rogue Nation. There's something off about Tom in that one. I can't put my finger on it. But in this, he's just he looks incredible.
I agree.
I love his hair in this. It's like my favorite, I think, Tom.
You like the short hair?
Yeah, it's just iconic.
It fits him quite well. I mean, the long hair it's early 2000s, Tom.
The screenshot that Renzo posted of the jump with like the oxygen.
Yeah.
That was all CGI. That oxygen like overlay. That like there's nothing.
Oh, when they like turn on the tanks. It looks great.
Let me see if I have my Menchies here. The CNN trick with Wolf Blitzer. So smart.
So good. Classic.
Love those tricks. Lens flares, marry me.
Snap my neck, lens flares.
Everyone's dumping on JJ, but there's no dumping here. Ask the questions. Men in rubber masks playing Halloween. Angela Bassett going hard.
Love her.
That's the job.
That sounded exactly like her. That's pretty good.
Thank you. In the commentary, they talk about doing reshoots like maybe a month or 2 before the movie comes out.
That's crazy.
Bonkers stuff that they do with these movies. Really nuts. They also talked a lot about test audiences and listening to the test audiences.
How do I get on board with that?
It's a great question.
Test me.
The dream sequence where Tom shoots the cop, like on that right next to the water.
Mm-hmm.
They said that the dream-like, view of that is because when they were initially going to film that, crowds gathered because Tom was filming like a movie there. So people in France were watching them film, and they realized they didn't like. They say that like when they go to these cities, they want to celebrate the cities, the culture of the cities, and they're like, we actually don't need onlookers to see me shooting cops or like killing good people.
Yeah.
And so they put like these white drapes over the large like open areas. So that's what created the kind of like hue
interesting
in that scene, which was, I guess, was like a happy accident, which I thought was fascinating.
When you see him run like on the top of the buildings, like when he's chasing down Cavill, you can see a bridge on the other side of the water, and it's just people watching Tom run on top of a building. It's amazing.
Yeah, Kirby mentions the score. This is easily the best score of the whole series. Like whatever string,
and you've watched all of them.
Whatever string instrument is playing in these like emotional moments,
That's good.
Holy God in heaven. Holy God. That scene with Ving talking about Julia to Rebecca. Holy God. Where was Oscar? The IMAX helicopter chase scene, like, I think everywhere that this is streaming will change the ratio to the IMAX ratio. And it's nutty to watch. Like that whole helicopter chase. I love that, like, he's just willing to just drive a helicopter into his helicopter to get the detonator. Like whatever it takes. He's like, I'll figure it out. Yeah, five bang. This one it's like maybe the greatest action movie of all time.
It's a great question. We'll put it on the GOAT wall.
We'll find out next month for Mount GOATMORE. Pro?
Yeah. As you were talking about Tom in real life, it made me think of like how similar it feels like the way how he's so personable in person and like focused on people, and like how that is so much like Ethan Hunt, the character too. Just like Ethan Hunt, he can't handle one more person to care about because he just cares so much. So like that's the character, but that's kind of like Tom's personality. And maybe that's what like resonates with people so much with these movies. It's just that it feels maybe so genuine to like who he is.
Yeah.
Maybe we're wrong about Scientology. Slim, don't say that.
You got to keep an open mind. You know, you never know where you find inspiration. All right.
I mean, have people looked into Christianity? Have people looked into it? This guy came back from the dead, a zombie. Okay. They're all nutty.
Powered by Riverside. Yeah, I'm at 3 stars for this. It's action movies just type like this. Like this movie looks great. We all agree it's amazing. I'm just kind of like lukewarm on action movies. Okay. That's just where I'm at. But I mean, it's a great time, and everything we talked about and covered. It's like yes. It's
a good thing we got one more left.
3 stars is good. We remember the shirt that kicked off a revolution.
Yeah.
Proto's letterboxed icon and the 3-star icon. Is that still available somewhere to buy?
The job.
That's the job.
No, it's not available anymore.
No?
I've ended the revolution.
All right. It's in the past.
Yeah. We got to move forward.
We will move forward to Final Reckoning.
With our boys.
Not only that, but this is the first ever maybe collab in podcast history.
Huge.
We're inviting on 2 of our best friends, Dale and Jonesy.
Producer.
Jonesy from Twin Vipers. Dale, producer of the show, host of Bat and Spider. And with myself, the 3 of us do Interview with the Podcast Vampire, Tom Cruise retrospective podcast, which releases maybe once every 2 years.
3.
It's never been done. We'll simulcast release these episodes on both feeds. And it's going to be big. Yeah. It's going out on the Podcast Vampire feed as well. So we're going out with a bang. Final Reckoning next week. Go see it in theaters. Live people. I don't know what our plan is to broadcast. We don't even know when we're recording this episode. My God. You ever try to orchestrate 5 people to record a show? Have you ever? Have you ever looked into Christianity? Proto, closing thoughts this week for Mission Impossible.
Oh, we didn't really cover much breaking news, but breaking news coming out of Cannes. You guys hear about this Letterboxd video store?
Oh my God.
All of your video on demand needs going to be met by your favorite Letterboxd service?
Yeah.
Is this happening? When this news dropped, I was like, okay. So, Google Letterboxd video store. This is huge. I can't wait to see what comes of this. And I don't know much. Slim, you've been keeping tight-lipped about anything like this. So
it makes me sick, actually.
Yeah, it's sickening, but we can't
more details to be announced at a later time. So stay tuned for that.
Watch this space.
We'll see everybody next week for the biggest podcast episode in the history of audio.
70mm is a tape deck production featuring original artwork provided by Danny Haas. Spiritual guidance and V'ger, the robot who loves movies, provided by Pertalexis. Producer at large Dale_A. And music composed by Cinematric. Prints and other merch are available on 70mmpod.com. This episode was mixed, edited, and produced by me, Slim. Support our Patreon for access to our VHS Village Discord to talk movies with new friends, access to our exclusive episodes in the 70mm vault, discounts on merch, uncut episodes, and a physical membership card mailed to you. To check out other Tape Deck podcasts, find the link in the episode notes. And if you'd like to support our friends at Letterboxd and upgrade to pro or patron status, you can do so with a 20% off discount using the links on 70mmpod.com. Goodbye.
This is a Tape Deck podcast.